let's move on to our third and final main topic today. And our third and final main topic today gets submitted to us by Imran. And Imran writes, according to Heroic Hollywood, Warner Brothers have temporarily stopped development on the Supergirl movie and instead shifted its focus back to returning Superman to the theaters. I know Heroic Hollywood aren't exactly Deadline or The Hollywood Reporter, but could there be some truth to this report? I'm so hoping there is. Hashtag justice for Cavill. All right. Thanks a lot for sending that in, man. And yes, look, let's just get this straight up and out of the way. Heroic Hollywood is not We Got This Covered, right? Heroic Hollywood is not We Got This Covered. We Got This Covered, which nobody should ever listen to under any circumstances, anytime, for anything that they have as a breaking story. Never, like if they're reporting something other people are reporting, there might be something to, but any breaking scoops, no. And that's not Heroic Hollywood. That's not them at all. Heroic Hollywood is hit and miss. They are hit and miss. But in saying that they're hit and miss, that really does literally mean sometimes they're right. Sometimes they're wrong. Sometimes they're right. And so whenever a report comes out of them, I always put at least one eye on it. I don't take it as gospel truth, unlike like if it comes from Variety, the Hollywood Reporter, or Deadline, or one of the major trades. But, you know, if it's something's coming out of Heroic Hollywood, put an eye on it and see what kind of transpires. Anyway, for those of you wondering, okay, what is this story that they're talking about? Well, this is what's going on. According to a new report from Heroic Hollywood, Warner Brothers has put development on hold for the planned Supergirl movie. The report indicates that it doesn't make sense to follow up Superman's appearance in Justice League with a Supergirl movie. Not that that matters at all. It was a 3-second appearance. Anyway, and so the studio has instead shifted its focus back to returning Superman to theaters. All right. The one thing I can tell you right off the top is this, is that being the reason for doing that is one of the stupidest things I'd ever heard. Oh, well, we had a faceless Superman from the shoulder down make a 3-second appearance in Shazam. We can't possibly do a Supergirl movie now. That's one of the most idiotic things I've ever heard. If there is any truth to the idea that Warner Brothers may be pivoting away from doing a Supergirl movie and maybe looking back at Superman, if there's any truth to that, I can guarantee you that it has nothing to do with, well, wait a minute, people will be so confused since we had a faceless Superman for 3 seconds at the end of Shazam. That is in no way a motivating factor here. Like, no effing way that that's a motivating factor. It would be one of the most idiotic reasonings in the world. That being said, you guys know how I feel about Henry Cavill's Superman. As a matter of fact, I don't know if I have it here. Let me reach over here, and I don't even know if this is plugged in right now. I think it is. But just for those of you who may or may not know.
It's plugged in.
Oh, is it plugged in?
Yeah.
Just for those of you who may or may not know. Like, in my studio, always and forever, looking over me, so you see, like, making me feel safe in my studio, overseeing all that I say and do, is, of course, Henry Cavill Superman. Henry Cavill Superman is there looking out for me. He's my security blanket, ladies and gentlemen. He's my security blanket. I got to have him there, watching over, protecting the broadcast. You guys know how I feel about Henry Cavill Superman. I want another Henry Cavill Superman movie. And if there's any validity to the idea that they're pivoting away from a Supergirl movie to go back to Superman, great. Because Henry Cavill is my favorite Superman of all time. I've always thought that the notion of a Supergirl movie was very contradictory to Warner Brothers' past history, but not so much lately. They're already doing a Flash movie, supposedly, that I don't think is ever actually going to happen, but we'll see. While they have a Flash TV series going. And now they're talking about doing a Supergirl movie while they've got a Supergirl TV series going. That doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Plus, you guys know me. I've never been big on derivative characters. I'm not a real big fan of derivative characters. There are some exceptions to that. Basically speaking, I don't want Superboy the movie. Okay? I don't want a Superboy movie. I want Superman. I don't want a Supergirl movie. I want Superman. I just like, I don't want, in the same vein, I wouldn't want in the Wonder Woman universe, I don't want them to do a Wonder Man who's also like, he's kind of like Y the Last Man. He's the last male dude on Themyscira, and now he comes to the world, and he's Wonder Man. I don't like derivative characters, generally speaking. There are some exceptions, but just generally speaking. So, I don't know. Listen, is this report true? Honestly, right now, I would say it's a coin toss. But damn if it is true, you're going to be looking at one happy Campea. You're going to be looking at one very, very happy Campea if it is true. Not because I hate the idea of a Supergirl movie, but I really do want Henry Cavill back as Superman. I don't think it's going to happen. I unfortunately, maybe I'm just being bitter and skeptical and ever, but I don't think it's going to happen. But man, it would be damn sweet if it did. Aaron, you hear this story about maybe, you know, there were reports that Warner Brothers was they were moving away from Superman and they were going to instead focus on Supergirl movies. Now we're hearing some reports saying that they may go back the other way. I don't know. What do you make of this whole mess?
Okay, I can't get the image of the last man on Themyscira.
By the way, his name's Larry.
Larry,
and he's a little overweight. He's pampered a lot.
So over it. Like, because it could go one of two ways. You could look at like the last man on Themyscira, like, oh my God, this guy really is, you know, living life. Or he could be the most miserable human ever. Like Smurfette, who's just constantly over all the Smurfs. Like, why do I would never want to be in Smurfette's position. So sorry, I just went off on that little tangent there. That was a very fun adventure for me to go on. Thank you so much, John. Yeah, I'm the same way. I'm just not excited about, as you said, derivative characters. I feel like Supergirl has done brilliantly as a television show, and you know, kudos to the Greg Berlanti world for, you know, making it so. But yeah, I'm just not interested in the film version of that. I feel like there's so many other great superheroes, you know, male and female, but like if you're wanting to go specifically for a female superhero film, there's a lot of other female superheroes that have not yet been explored in any capacity, and there's always going to be those direct comparisons of any Supergirl movie to Superman. That being said, there's also been, six, you know, including Batman versus Superman, 6 Superman films, not including Justice League.
Well, if with this particular incarnation.
Well, with Henry Cavill, yes.
Yeah, I mean, we had the 4 Christopher Reeve movies,
right,
and then we had the Brandon Routh movie, and then we had Man of Steel, and then we had, and then we're not even talking about all the television incarnations.
Of course.
And then, of course, we had Batman versus Superman, and then we had Justice League. So, yeah, 8 Superman films.
Yeah, so maybe it's not even about another Superman or a Supergirl movie as much as it is just finding a new superhero that we can elevate to the consciousness of the comic book fans. You know, I don't know. I'm not in the same world of Henry Cavill love as you are.
That's my bromance.
Hey, I get it.
That's my bromance.
I totally get it. And this is no disrespect to Henry Cavill. I just go, okay, well, we've had 6 of them. Is there anything else going on? Is there anything new?
But to be fair, I mean, 6 done over 40 years. So it's not like we've had 6 of them done in the last 5 years.
No, you're right. You're right.
He is Superman. Superman is not my favorite comic book character. Let's be clear about that. Yeah, Magneto is my favorite.
I find him a little
character.
milquetoast, to be honest.
But I mean,
it's a little too good for me. I like somebody with some danger.
The granddaddy of all superheroes. He is Zeus in the Olympian annals of superheroes. He's Zeus. I mean, you gotta have Superman. I mean, I don't know. This is how. But the question is for you guys. What do you think about this? I'm not even sure there's any validity to this story, so let's be very clear about it. If it's true, great, not because great, oh, they're shutting down Supergirl, but great that, oh my God, getting Superman. But I don't know, what do you think is going to be happening here? What do you want to have happen? Jump down to the comment section below and let me know your thoughts. All right, guys, listen.